Okay, just before we start, a quick note to YouTube and to anyone who's watching. Any of the copywritten material that I include in this episode is used only for commentary reasons. We're commenting on this, and in fact, what we are commenting on is that the Watchtower organization, they are the ones who are stealing other people's intellectual property and using it for their own purposes. So, all right, I want to say that before we got started. All right, here we go. Welcome back to Difficult Childhood, the podcast where we talk about growing up as JWs and leaving and having a better life on the outside afterward. And today, I want to talk about something that the ex-Jehovah's Witness community doesn't seem to be talking about much, but Jehovah's Witnesses talk about plenty. I remember this from when I was within the organization, and the thing is that a lot of their music seems plagiarized from the world. And I have four different examples here. I know we all think of one example, and we'll get there. But there are four different examples here that I think legitimately do sound like they're ripped off of worldly, so-called worldly music. And why is this an issue I'm even talking about? Well, that's because if this were really God's organization, would they really need to plagiarize from unchristian or worldly music, from movies, from popular music? Would they really need to do that? And I don't think they would. I think that if they were really God's organization, they would have absolutely immaculate, amazing music on their own. In fact, it might even be elevated above the world's music, and it would, even if it didn't get acclaim from the world because they're all under Satan's control, I think it would we would recognize a huge difference. Now, that being said, I do hear actually stunningly beautiful kingdom melodies that are made by these volunteers, or really their minds aren't their own, so it's slave labor at Watchtower. But we're going to listen to several examples here, and you guys tell me if you think these sound plagiarized. But also, let me know if you think there are others, or if you know of other songs that sound completely ripped off by the organization. I think they ran out of ideas. Their inspiration wasn't there, and they kind of started just listen, or even subconsciously, we're just listening to regular music, and then, oh, I'm going to come up with this gorgeous song, and nobody in the review team noticed. So tell me what you think. We will get to the one that we all know and love and remember from 2009. But first of all, I'm going to start with this song here. All right, here it goes. This song is kind of different. Have a listen.
In the service of our God Jehovah, we have joys that are beyond compare. For unselfishly we preach the good news.
Okay, so it's very tedious. He goes on like this. But it's important we get a good sample here.
It is just as Jesus Christ assured us.
Because this song, when I heard the worldly version, made me laugh so much.
Could we be giving than the truth that leads to life and righteousness? Even when from house to house we're preaching, we meet.
Okay, so this one I literally had never heard of before matching a so-called worldly song until I heard it. And here is the worldly version.
I'll be back again before it's time for sunny down. I'll be lazing on a Sunday afternoon, bicycling on every Wednesday.
How is that not the same song?
Thursday I go waltzing to the zoo.
It's Queen, Lazing on a Sunday afternoon.
From London town, I'm just an ordinary guy. Fridays I go painting in the Louvre.
I love Freddie Mercury.
I'm bound to be proposing on a Saturday night. I'll be lazing on a Sunday, lazing on a Sunday, lazing on a Sunday afternoon.
And it goes on like that. It's great. But like literally, back to this other song. We won't go long, but
Could we be giving than the truth
somebody
that leads
was
to
listening
life
to
and
Queen in 1984
righteousness?
when they wrote this song.
Even when from house to house we're preaching.
Okay, that's enough of that. I loved that one. That one made me laugh so much. Okay, next one. Next one was one that I was calling around asking friends, and I talked to my ex-wife Rebecca, and we were talking about which song was it? Because she always pointed this out at the Kingdom Hall. I could not remember which one it was, but it sounded like a Disney song, and you can see if you can pick it up here. It is here. It is. Keep Your Eyes on the Prize from 1984. It's a beautiful song. But my point is, it was already a beautiful song. So that's what, now it's got the little intro out of the way here. Let's have a listen. Okay, we got a good sample. Maybe I'll just go a little bit more here. And we'll let it hit a second time here, because when it says that when eyes of blind ones see again, no, with the lame ones, there it goes. Now you tell me if that sounds like this. There are some deviations, but it's real close. And what did Snow White come out in the 30s? And this song was written, I think, in the early 80s. I think somebody went to the movies and then wrote a song for Watchtower. So it's pretty rough. I mean, and the thing is that that song from Watchtower is actually beautiful. It's Keep Your Eyes on the Prize. It's gorgeous, but like I said, it already was a beautiful song in the 30s, written by some composer at Disney. So there was another one. I don't think I'm gonna play it here. I'll ask you guys. You can look it up online. It's kind of interesting. It was the sorry, where'd it go? Oh, yes. A lot of people hear song number 87, Throw Your Burden on Jehovah. Many people hear Elvis Presley's The Wonder of You. I don't know if I buy this. First of all, The Wonder of You wasn't made a hit until 1970, and Throw Your Burden on Jehovah came out in 1966. It was a sort of a hit. I mean, it was written by somebody else and performed by somebody else in 59, so it could have been, but it just seems vaguely orchestral. I don't know. Have a listen if you like. Song number 87, it is Throw Your Burden on Jehovah, and see if it sounds like Elvis Presley's The Wonder of You. It sort of does, but I didn't think it was really quite worth playing. It wasn't quite that good. Another one that I thought was interesting, actually, I'm going to save that for a second later. I looked at online, a lot of people on Reddit were talking about the early hymn tunes, the ones back in the Russell era. And a lot of them were very much taken off of Beethoven and Bach. And I went back and listened and like, yeah, you can hear that stuff. You can find them online. And then there's also a couple other old hymns that just sound like regular Christian hymns. So it was strange. But the one that we all know of, I think, and if you don't, you're about to just have your mind blown off the top of your head, is this one right here. Let's have a listen to song number 67, Preach the Word. I'm going to scooch in a little bit, about 15 seconds here. It marches along a little bit. It's normal. I remember being at the 2009 International Convention in Munich and heard dinosaurs. How much? How much does that sound like this? Preach the word. Preach that word. Preach it. Preach the word. Come on, guys. How did they get? They had 3 hit movies by the time this song was released in 2009. How did that get past them? All right. Well, those are my top picks. All right. Before I get copyright stricken here, I'm going to stop that. But those are my top picks for uh, just these plagiarized songs that were in the Kingdom Melodies. And this is no disrespect against like the so-called brothers and sisters. These men and women who, in their love, their earnest love for God, were in Bethel working their hardest and actually playing beautifully. So I'm not digging on them at all, but rather this is a dig on the organization as a whole, that clearly they can't be spirit anointed, they can't be led by God if their music is so clearly plagiarized from worldly music, so clearly that someone who really is very uninformed about music like me would notice it. What do you guys think? Leave a comment and please do subscribe to the channel. We have more stuff coming up, including some interviews with some Mormons and also a chat with somebody. Actually, I'll just save that for later. Someone, we have quite a few interviews coming up. I guess I can't give it anything away. So it should be interesting. And I'm looking forward to the Mormon episode where we compare notes about our 2 religions. And I found out that we really aren't all that different, and there you can definitely smell out the culty flavor of it that is not necessarily common in all religion. So that's coming up. Thanks guys for watching. Please do like and subscribe.
In the service of our God Jehovah.